Today is November 29th, 2025. It's been a long day, but a lot of people scattered. You know, when you realize how many years even Agent John can get for if a police or an FBI agent helps on someone calling for help, it's 10 to 20 years. If they tell anyone they can't help someone, it's 10, 20 to life in federal. If they tell a victim they can't say anything, it's 10 to 20 years. And it takes a judge in a jury trial, freedom of speech, to put a gag order on you, where the police, the prosecutor's office, criminal attorney, and Grant's friend that's an FBI agent said he's only a higher police officer. He don't have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. If she didn't get her money, then the only one can steal it is him. And he's probably been stealing for a while. Because you got to think, when you break it down, local police do the local area, sheriffs do the county, state patrol does the state highways, then we have federal police, and it's just where you work. They can work anywhere in the United States. The U.S. Marshals, FBI, and Secret Service. They're all police officers. Even on Google, even a local police officer is not submittable to an FBI agent. They're all police. They can't tell anybody they can't say anything. It's a freedom of speech. It's a constitutional right. A week ago, well, it's been 6 days. On November 23rd, 25, Summit Mall, Macy's downstairs. There's girls off in the distance. They got a hold of us and told us what's going on. Her ex-husband was already connected to us. We needed to run a scam on somebody to extort money from the government. We asked him if we ran a scam on her, if we made sure he got everything during the divorce, if he let us do it, and he said yes. And he was having those drug dealers we hired to run this scam, even drug beat and rape her. And they were talking about how this thing was a big scam to extort money out of the government. I was in New Philadelphia the other day, and people were talking. They think it was that Michelle telling on everybody she's so mad that that agent broke up with her, or that guy broke up with her. She's telling on everybody. Okay. See, that's where these idiots, they were lying. An attorney's office has a deal with the FBI. They can drug beat and rape her, steal all her money, and no one will help. I Googled that. There's no such thing. It is totally illegal on the highest level. And the charges for both, from extortion to blackmail, and then on down. And let's see, obstruction to justice, tampering with a witness. They have no agreement like that with the FBI. It's a lie. It's illegal. See, that's where I had said before, these people won't have to worry about the police arrest them. I find out what attorney's office is involved. All I have to do is tell the Bar Association, oh, for you even saying you were in my home before, you're disbarred for the rest of your life. Let alone drug beating, raping me. Then all the other crimes. And criminally charged, and they'll go after you. And they could never have my medical records. It's HIPAA. Even the law states, that if a doctor talks about you without your permission, it's 10 years. Federal. If a doctor looks up somebody else's medical records without their signed consent and ID, 10 years. If an individual even breaks in a private home, steals medical records, tries to use it against them, it's HIPAA, it's 10 years. Federal. Well, the medical board will take care of you. See, they could never have my medical records. Get the idea? They can't. Where Michelle said on March 27th, 25, to an agent that he broke up with her, the doctor from before was never one of hers, worse for them, and they had lied. Of course they lied. It's ridiculous. Screamed it out in Sheets parking lot on April 17th, 25. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. It didn't work. And as soon as she told that guy he broke up with her and how mad she was, screaming in the parking lot. Huh? On April 17th, 25. And the big government SUVs. Yeah. You know, I have so much crap with these people. And crap. Then we're September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, where a biker brought Michelle down, got her to confess to human trafficking, that this whole thing is her family's debt to drug dealers, and that they even knew it was a medication error, medical malpractice, and fraud that made me sick before. And that the original drug dealers already confessed they photoshopped everything. And she was the one that told my new husband's family they could bash his head and kidnap him, take him out to Youngstown, have him found incompetent, steal his land. And she wanted that land. Huh? And because of that, you do realize, let's see, Rick, his son, trying to bash Carl's head in and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Carl couldn't even go down there. He was threatening his life, telling other people he was going to bash his head and he didn't know how or when. He was going to take that land. And that thing that he did with the horse, that's sick. Where he was telling people he's got dementia, he got Alzheimer's. He's perfectly fine. He's just lying, thinking people are stupid. The VA did an examination on him. He's perfectly normal. I was talking to the Tuscarora sheriffs. He don't have dementia or Alzheimer's. He's normal. You can tell when he talks. I know. He just lied, thinking the police were stupid and everybody else was. And thinking he could just steal from them. That's all they are, is a bunch of thieves. Threatened to kill him, threatened to kill me. He told him he was going to call the Humane Society. Now, his daughter, Desi, was storing a horse at his farm. Okay? And she found a cat, and she was letting it live there. Because she felt sorry for it. I told him off for that. And where Carl couldn't go down there. Desi was feeding her horse and the neighbor and the cat. Well, he wanted to give this one hope chest to his other daughter, Audrey. So my son Danny took him down, made sure he's safe, got that hope chest, and got out of there. I have never seen the farm. Carl wouldn't let me look at it. Wouldn't even let me down there. He took pictures of the horse. It was perfect. Within a week, where Rick said, you either call me by 2 p.m. or I'm going to call the Humane Society and tell them you're beating that horse and cat and killing them or harming them. That you have dementia and Alzheimer's and you don't know what you're doing. He's not even been down there except for that one time to grab the hope chest and let Danny take a couple pictures of the horse. Well, you know what? Then he's like, I changed my mind. You got till 10 a.m. and I'm calling him. Well, I called him. And where that horse was normal a few days before, had a big hole in the side of his head and a scratch. And where little Rob was helping feed, said the cat was fine 2 days before running across the field. It was dying. Dying. Carl went down and grabbed it, took it to the vet. It was dying of liver disease. They had to put it down. So him threatening Carl's life, take it very seriously. We went down and talked to Sheriff Cox in Tuscarawas County. Said, these are the people, like where stepchildren were threatening and harassing us. Took him, have like 50, 60 grand in checks that they took. And I witnessed $6 grand in 2 months in cash. Took all his money. They're the ones stalking and harassing us. And then Rick trying to threaten to steal his land. He wanted that farm or else. Said they're the one trying to steal from him and has stole from him and threatened your life. Get your husband out of here. He's got too many people involved. And they were breaking how he broke in my apartment, stole notes from me and Carl. Said something stupid about our TV I bought him. He didn't need that TV. It's like Deb, where she took all that money from him. Sexually assaulted him in the Tuscarawas County Courthouse, September 10th, 25. She needs to be arrested for that. After the court hearing. When she found out I bought him new shoes, his shoes were in rags. He doesn't need new shoes. It's like they're in rags. He don't even have decent clothes. Got him clothes. He don't need them. You know why they didn't want him needed? He didn't want him to spend his money on himself. They wanted everything. You know, they told him we had an old black junkie truck that they wanted it when he died. We were over at his daughter Audrey's. I said, Carl sold that truck to Desi for $40. They don't get it. She said they actually wanted the blue one then. The one that I called the Fred Flintstone car, the one where it shook when you stopped. We traded back in. They're so entitled, they think they can just steal from him. That he is worthless and nothing but to rob. They get nothing. Nothing. And her, last year at this time, her furnace was out. I had paid a bill for Carl, waiting for his money to come in. He gave me my money back. I still had it in my pocket. We go over to visit her. Her furnace is out. Her husband's trying to fix the part, been trying to fix the part. It's freezing. I took Carl in the kitchen and I offered him the money to hand to her. I paid to fix her furnace. She dare call me Brenda. His late wife that had her kids beat on him. I told Carl, I'll make sure those people never beat on you again, and you will be safe. I told him, I said, I may get scared. I may get upset over this. He said, but Karen, you'd never hurt me. You're just upset at the situation. You know, that's one thing. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to have an argument or yell because you're scared, you're upset, and emotions are running high. But it's never okay to threaten to kill somebody. Where Rick did it over land, it wasn't just an argument. Threatened to have her marriage annulled. When Carl dies, he's going to get an attorney and come after me. He can't. Like Kathy Stoneman said, Carl can sell that land to whoever he wants. Whoever he wants. He can spend his money on whoever he wants. And Rick's not entitled to nothing. And see, that's where he does need to learn his place. It's not his money. It's not his land. See, they have beat on Carl and assaulted him so many times. He cowers when they threaten him. It's like you don't have to be afraid anymore. You know, when they left all those threats at me, I didn't respond. They left threatening voicemails, didn't respond. Threatening text messages, didn't respond. They can do what leave evidence of what they're doing to us. And like I told Audrey, I already turned all that in the police. She said, then why haven't they arrested Rick? She said, it makes me sick when people get away with crimes and nobody arrests them. I said, trust me, I know that one. I gotta get off here. But yeah, see, that's one thing. If you have an argument, you know, ours have been, I hate your fucking family. Make me give up my beautiful mobile home we just rented. $900 a month. They didn't want him to have it. Felt like a home. Have to pack my stuff up. Have to live in a tiny apartment with a security system and security cameras. So that they can't get in and kill him. I hate living like this. But you know, it's not his fault. And I told him I would never let them beat on him again. He told me, he said, Karen, you're strong. And you know, I don't feel like it. There was times I go take a shower and I just bust out crying in the shower. I hear this sweet voice off in the distance. I'm here for you, hon. It's like, shut up and leave me alone. And I'd sleep on the couch and cry half the night from having to pack up all my stuff and run. Instead, they should have been in jail. Just like my ex-husband. Him and those church people and those people involved should have been arrested the first day. Like Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin. Are your police slob? They should have arrested that agent the first day and got you out of here. And you should have been put in a safe house. These people are crazy. They can't do any of this. No, they can't. You know what's something? My son, Carl, against my wishes, sold that farm to Danny. And Danny said when it calms down, Carl can go back down there. And he can mow his hay and enjoy his property till he dies. He said it makes me sick. They're trying to scare him off of it and threatening to kill him for it. He said I haven't had a dad in 2 years. And Carl's a nice man. And against my wishes, he sold it to Danny because I didn't want him involved in this. And Rick showed up. Danny called the sheriffs. Danny gave him one chance to get his property off there. He said, take the locks off the house. You got stuff in it, get it out. He said, I don't got room in my vehicle. He said, I don't care. You should have drove it to the edge of the property. It's just out in the middle of nowhere. Farm sent around. Nobody would have took it. He wouldn't do it. And the police officer told him, you either take it now or you lose it. And he said, I'm not taking it today. He said, then you lost it. He said, He started in about me. Now, he's never even met me. He said, Danny said, I don't want to hear your family's drama. He said, well, I'm going to call CPS on her. Danny called and told me that. I said, why would he call Child Protective Services? Carl's 80. He may act like a bad child, but he's really not. Ornery as hell. He can still bail 80-pound bales of hay, run a tractor. Or 80, he's amazing. So it just, you know who works Adult Protective Services investigation? The sheriffs. Who told me to get my husband out of there? Run and never let his family know where he lives again for his safety. That they're the ones that have took money from him and are threatening and harassing him. And his son now is threatening his life to steal his farm. And they got all these people involved. Take your husband and run. Hide him from his family. Don't ever let them know where he lives again for his safety. Those people are already under investigation for stalking and harassment. So who are they investigating? Them. Like they said, we already know what they're up to. You know, Carl and I have been together a year and a half. And we didn't fight. And over the last month and a half, with having to pack up our stuff in 3 days, put it in storage, he was breaking our apartment. That Rick Brigan he did. He shows up with anything that he actually took, he's gonna go to jail. He put all our stuff in storage, had to stay with an extended family member in a tiny apartment, and then I had to rent another tiny apartment. And I missed our mobile home. It was 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and it was so big it was like having a ranch. And it was brand new. It had brand new appliances, hardwood floors. It was beautiful. Carl's like, I've never lived in such a nice place. But they couldn't have him have something nice. I wanted him to have a safe, peaceful, happy life for the rest of his life. We had, because we were friends before we started dating and before we were married, we had a sweet relationship. And some of the investigators said, you know, Karen jokes around with her husband like little kids. It was nice being able to relax. It's nice feeling like I had a home. First time in 7 years. And I actually cried over losing that home. Like I said, I broke down. I cried in the shower. I had slept on the couch because I'd stay awake and cry. It hurt. And being terrorized out of your own home by idiots is disgusting. Like I said, we've had more arguments in the last month of I hate your fucking family. He's like, I do too. You know, today we took a day and relaxed and cuddled on the couch and watched TV. It was nice. It was real nice. You know, I paid all kinds of money to move down there and set up that mobile home to make it nice. I had to pay all kinds of money to move out of there and then rent another place. These people have cost us so much money. It's not funny. And all they want to do is steal. It makes me sick.